Up to this point, all the animations that I've demonstrated have been at a steady, unchanging speed, which gives the sprite movement a machine-like, unnatural look. To create more natural motion in tweened sprites, you'll want to use the ease in and ease out sliders here in the sprite tweening dialog. You can either use the sliders or use the up or down arrows here to set ease in and ease out values. These settings adjust how a sprite moves from its start frame to its end frame, regardless of how many keyframes are in between. Ease in makes the sprite move more slowly in the beginning frames, and ease out makes the sprite slow down in the ending frames. Both of these settings make your sprites move more like an object in the real world. In other words, there's something called inertia. That's where it takes a little bit more energy to get a very heavy truck moving, so it starts off slowly. Also, takes more braking power to slow down a speeding heavy truck, so it slows down also more slowly. Probably the best way to do this is, let's demonstrate 100% ease in with this animation here of a block just moving from one end of the stage to the other. And you'll notice that it starts off slowly and then speeds up at the end. Probably if I shorten the sprite span there, I can accentuate that movement. Compare that. We go back to modify sprite tweening. Let's turn off the ease in value. Now notice that it will travel. Let's also extend this out a bit. Notice that it travels at the same velocity for the entire duration of that sprite span. Let me go back and now demonstrate the ease out setting. This time you should notice that it slows down slowly. That's a pretty good demonstration. If I extend the sprite span out, it'll accentuate this effect. So notice that about right here, it really starts to slow down and get slower and slower and slower until it stops, simulating friction, perhaps, on that block. Now there are some other settings in the sprite tweening dialog box. The speed settings here control how director moves a sprite between each keyframe. The sharp changes option is the default setting. Using this option, director calculates how to move the sprite between each pair of keyframes separately. If a sprite's keyframes are separated by unequal numbers of frames in the score or by different amounts of space on the stage, abrupt changes in speed might occur as the sprite moves between keyframe locations. Smooth out these speed changes by selecting the Smooth Changes option right there. So to summarize, the Sharp Changes option moves the sprite between keyframe locations without adjusting the speed, and the Smooth Changes option adjusts the sprite's speed gradually as it moves between keyframes. Let me now move on to the next movie and discuss film loops. Film loops are a very useful animated sequence that you can use like a single cast member.